Hello. Hello. Is the audio working? I hope so. Let's do it. It's the first time I'm doing this. I hope someone joins. I start speaking English, but if someone came in and it's Brazilian, some Brazilians came in, I will start speaking Portuguese. I'm sorry. I've been looking at my statistics on my channel. There's a lot of Brazilian people coming and less foreign people coming, so Brazilian people. So if mostly Brazilians come in, I will start speaking Portuguese. I'm sorry, but let's do it. I will try to model this funny character here. Well, let's do it. If you've watched some of my videos before, you may know more or less my workflow. I didn't prepare a decent character model sheet. I will just use this sketch as a base, and then I will improvise along the way, and let's see what I will come up with. Let's take a look here. We have this cube. Let's subdivide this cube. If you ever watched one of my videos before, you may already know some of these practices. Let's do it. Transform it for polygonal objects. Then I will delete half the objects. Optimize, and then put it in a symmetry objects, and the symmetry inside the subdivision surface, and then we're start beginning to be ready. Options, no isolate editing. I hate this isolate editing. Tolerance selection, not just visible, all points at once. It's kind of strange to do this live. This is my first time, and I have no idea if someone will come to watch. It's funny. I guess it would be nice if someone joins and we can interact and answer some questions. I'll try to make this lives weekly. If you follow me, you may know that I'm not very good at keeping my promises, but I swear I always try to keep them. I just sometimes I can't, but it's not that I don't want, it's just that I can't. Sometimes it's because of work or personal issues, never because I don't care about my subscribers. I care a lot of my subscribers. If you're not a subscriber yet, please subscribe the channel. If you like the live, the videos, share with your friends. It helps, because it would be very nice if I can profit at least some cents from this channel, because I just do this because I like, because I don't receive anything from YouTube. But if YouTube decides to give me something, I will not be sad at all. Nobody watching, nobody, not a single soul. Funny. I don't know if I will keep talking by myself like some kind of crazy person, or and just start talking again if somebody joins, or if I will talk anyway, because at some point this will be on the channel, and maybe I can just keep the music as I used to do. But I still have some hope that maybe at some point somebody wants to take a look at what I'm doing here. Just speaking as a crazy person, talking to myself. Just talking to myself. I even took the time to prepare a thumbnail. It will be a waste if nobody joins. I don't care. This is the kind of thing I would be doing by myself anyway, if I was just recording a video to the channel as I used to do. I've seen that there are some people that comes and goes, nobody really interested in talking to me. So sad. I'm not that boring. Maybe a little bit, not too boring. Okay, here starting off ahead, let's take a look at my concept art here. Let's give this guy some ears. This one just visible. Which axis is this? X-axis, 0 size. Wow. Actually, they're lines. Okay. Hello, Felipe. Hi, Felipe. You're... Oh, thank you. I'm talking in English because maybe some foreign people come, but if you wish, you can talk in Portuguese. I don't care. Hoa. Hoa, Hoa, where are you from, Hoa? Please talk to me. I'm feeling kind of crazy here. That's the first time I'm doing these things live. I've never done this before live. And it's kind of odd to be talking like a crazy person on my bedroom. On my office, not my bedroom, but how are you? Please chat to me. You can send some message, chat, say something, ask questions. This channel is yours. Feel like you're home. You can ask anything if you want. That's a very good question. I am very. I wish to learn Blender. I started using Blender recently because I could not afford to upgrade my Cinema 4D license. As you can see, I'm working with R17 yet, and Cinema 4D is already on R21 or 22, I believe, and I'm still using R17. So I decided to learn Blender because it's free and I'll never have to worry about this again. But actually I didn't have the time yet to learn Blender. So I've tried to model some things in Blender, and it is not that hard. It's actually I really enjoyed. I was able to make something that looked like a character, but very very simple because I don't know the tools as much as I know in Cinema 4D. But it's just a matter of practice, and I have to practice more to. Actually, not practice. I have to learn, but I believe it's not easier or harder. It's just easier and harder. Depends on how much you know about the software, because the techniques are really similar. If you know the basics, I guess it's just a matter of learning the tool, because the many things transfer from one tool to the other. You just need to get used and to learn the tools of the other software. For me, it's easy in Cinema 4D just because I work in Cinema 4D for a long time, so I know the tools very well. But I hope in the near future I'll be able to start modeling in Blender as well, and maybe even posting some videos here for you who follow me and who wants to maybe start using Blender too, or using both Blender and Cinema 4D. But for sure I will share some videos when I start using Blender more regularly. I will share some videos here on the channel. Are you subscribers for the channel, or you just came to this video by chance? Like you saw the thumbnail on your timeline or something, or you subscribe for the channel. I were a full-time 3D pro. I had a studio in the past where I it was not a 3D studio. Actually, it was a motion graphics, and 3D was part of the pipeline. On this studio, I guess I never made a character work. It was just motion graphics, mostly motion graphics, because I am actually I work in advertising, and 3D is just a tool like Photoshop or something, but it's not. I would not call me like a 3D pro. And especially characters, I do mostly for fun, because I've never did a professional job with characters. It's just a hobby. It's just fun, because I love characters, movies, Pixar movies, all these animated films. I wish I were younger and I would be able to work on some of those studios. I would have to move to the United States and try to work on those studios, because here in Brazil we don't have a lot of this. We don't have what we can call an industry, an animation industry. We have some studios doing entertainment animation, but mostly 2D animation, not 3D animation. Working in 3D for a really long time. I started like in 2003, 2004. It was Cinema 4D release 8 when I started. For this, as I was talking before, it was for this motion graphics work that I started using Cinema 4D, mostly for graphic works, and then as I've learned the tool, I've decided, and I loved character animation. I decided to start doing characters, because I really like to draw, and I draw mostly characters. As this character, it's my drawing. I have like hundreds, maybe thousands of characters drawn, and I always had the plan that I would model them, but I don't think I have enough time to model them in this lifetime. But I try to model my favorite ones, at least. I didn't have. Hey Felipe, I didn't have the chance to work in any of this more recent release of Cinema 4D, because I'm not very. I don't like this piracy thing. I like to have like regular software on my computer, and because of the COVID-19, actually this new model, subscribing model of Cinema 4D is really great, but because of this COVID-19, I have been unemployed for some time, and I don't have like a regular income, so I rather work with the software that I already have than to subscribe or purchase or spend more money with more software, because now I have to save all I can to my survival, you know. I guess you understand. But whenever I have the chance to upgrade, I will do it. Or not if I learned Blender before. Which come first? Or I will work more in Blender, or I will upgrade my license. But actually I believe that to learn Blender in the long term will be better, because Blender is free and I won't have to worry about having a lot of money to upgrade if I start working with free software. And Blender, in the past it was hard, but now, as the tests I've been doing, it's now really, it's powerful and easier to use. That's and have lots of features that Cinema 4D don't have, like fluid simulations and more powerful sculpting tools, and which is great for character modeling. So I think that before I upgrade to a new release of Cinema 4D, I will eventually learn Blender. I hope so. It's not a very hard. It's a quite a simple character. I maybe in a few hours I'll be able to finish it from start. And I hope you have the patience to stay with me until the end and see how the character ends. I hope to finish it during this live. I hope, and I believe it will be possible, because as you can see, he's almost, I have already the head, and now the body is taking shape. It's a simple character, not many details that would take hours to make. It's like a more like a stylized character, and it's faster to model than it would be a more detailed character. It's more like a graphic style character, and they're easier to model, faster and easier. I hope you stay with me here until the end to see the character completes. Where are you from? I know Felipe is from Brazil, and where are you from? Woa. Wow, Slovakia, nice. Great. What time is it in Slovakia now? Is it day? Is it night? How about you? You work with Cinema 4D? You're students? You're just a hobbyist? What's your relationship with Cinema 4D? And you, Felipe? You work with Cinema 4D? You're student, you're hobbyist, you're professional. Please tell me about yourselves too. Without subdivision surface, sure. It's like this. You try to, whenever I model a character, I try to keep it as low poly as possible because it's easier to control. But at the same time, I try to make the low poly cage as similar to the final character as possible because it makes it easier to model it. It's great to have this ability to model it really low poly because you can use the character like on a game engine, or if you want it more detailed, you can do it too. I always ask myself when I see people modeling characters especially people who already know other software but they work in ZBrush, because on the end they'll have to rebuild the character again. I guess the workflow that was original planned for ZBrush is smarter when because on the beginning you used to work the characters in Blender in a 3D software like I'm doing here on Cinema 4D, and later you would bring it to ZBrush to sculpting details and everything, but the cage would be already ready and you would just export like normal maps and displacement maps and things like that and apply it to the character, which people have to do at some point, and I don't understand very much why people prefer ZBrush, although I understand it's a great tool and it's more like a sculpting, doing real sculpting than 3D modeling. ZBrush is also on my plans to learn ZBrush. although I love the sculpting tools on Cinema 4D, I'm planning to make another lives where I do some characters that need some. This one is very graphic and won't need any sculpting, but I'm planning to make some characters that need sculpting and to showcase the sculpting tools. I think it's a shame it's so misused, the sculpting tools in Cinema 4D, because they are so great. Yeah, I try to keep as low poly as possible because it makes your life easier in during all the process, from the modeling to the rigging and everything. It's easier to edit when you need it. I'm so happy that you came, guys, because I thought I would be talking by myself here, feeling crazy. Thanks for coming. I hope you already subscribe the channel. If not, please subscribe. I'm planning to do these lives more often, because I usually model the characters by myself, and I thought, why not to model it? And at first I uploaded the characters speed modeling videos, but people start to ask more and more for videos on regular speed. So if I don't need to edit the videos, and why not to make them live? I guess people would profit more, because like this you can ask things, you can interact, and I won't have this extra work of editing because people preferred videos on regular speed. I'm not sure if these arms are where they should be, but later I will. I will check it. something important, not just to keep the model low poly, but also try to keep the loops consistent. That would make your life easier on the future too, during the rigging process. I love scary character, but uh, I'm usually I when I was younger, I loved to draw horror characters. But at some point, I started doing more like funny characters, and I kept doing funny characters more and more. But I like horror characters. But my drawing, my style is more like funny, cartoony characters than horror characters. Maybe at some time I would make some like cartoony horror character if it makes sense, like this how this movie is called, about the Dracula, the Hotel Transylvania. Maybe I try to make some characters on this, like this Hotel Transylvania thing movie. And do like these funny horror characters. I have here my sketchbook. On my sketchbook, I don't know if it be, oh, my logo is in the front of the, I'll put it here. I have all those characters that I used to draw, and I want to model them. I have lots of characters to do in the future to the channel. Although I've been doing some movie characters as well. I've modeled in some cartoony characters, modeled like Bart Simpson. I've made the soul character, that movie, Pixar movie, which won the Oscar. I made this character. It's nice to model characters that are not mine, because as the characters are mine, I don't mind. I don't. They are mine. I can do whatever I want for them, with them, and so like and that makes me improvise a lot when I'm modeling characters. But when you're trying to make a character which is not yours, it's a different challenge, because the character has like a goal. You have a goal. You have something that your character really have to look like, and not to look like whatever you want, because the character is yours. So it's challenging. It's a good challenge. I've made this soul character, like the ghost, when the character dies, and I'm planning to do the character when he's alive. Maybe it will be my next video, and this will be a great chance to use the sculpting tools, this soul character. It would be a nice opportunity to use the sculpting tools. Shit. His shoulders is not like on the drawing. That's the kind of thing I was talking about, improvising. But it's also a thing that when you do a character drawing, it's 2D, and you can cheat much more because it's easier to cheat on 2D, but when you're working on 3D, you have some more constraints. And you can cheat as much. You have to be tied to geometry, to space constraints, things like that you can cheat when you're working on 2D. I guess his head is larger. I like to draw. I draw a lot because it's easier. It's faster. You just need a sketchbook and a pencil or a pen or something, and then you can draw. But it takes just a few minutes to draw. But when you're modeling, it takes some time, but it's great because the draw, unless you do like a character sheet with all the angles, front, back, quarter, you just have the character from one side. But when you work on 3D, you have the character from all sides, and this is funny too. I really enjoy also modeling. That's why I model these characters just for fun and share with you. Because I like it. It's funny. It's a lot of work, but I like it. Let me take a look. You see, I began to improvise, and sometimes I even forget that I had a starting point, because the character is mine. I don't. I just need to like it. It's not like modeling someone else's character that you have to look like the original concept. I use mostly the sketchbook. I am trying to learn how to draw in Photoshop and Illustrator. That's something that's maybe why I do them in 3D, because I don't know how to transform my sketches in actual illustrations. They always end like sketches, and when I do them in 3D, they are somewhat like a finished characters, not just sketches. But I like 2D. I also like 2D, and I try to learn how to use to transfer them to Photoshop and Illustrator, and color them and make them look more like illustrations than just sketches. I was thinking about this another day, that I'm not young. I am old, as you can notice from my white hair. And I started using Photoshop and Illustrator because, as I told, I worked in advertising, but not for drawing, for retouching photographs, making comps and things like that. And when I started, there wasn't like tablets or things like that. You worked on the mouse, and I just very recently started to learn how to use the tablets, and then I am starting to trying to do this illustration thing also on Photoshop. But I need to learn, because when you do something in a certain way for such a long time, it's almost like learn a new tool, although it's Photoshop, but it's almost like learning a new tool. Because one thing is to use Photoshop with the mouse, and when you use Photoshop with a tablet, it's a total different thing. It's a completely different thing. Young people used to start using Photoshop with tablets from the beginning, so it's much easier for them to draw in Photoshop than it's for me. Young people have no idea how hard it was to do something that people take for granted now in the past. Can you believe when I started using Photoshop didn't even have layers? Can you imagine that? You have to do everything without layers. And if you make some mistake, or you had to start all over again because you just lost what you have done. I can't believe that I've worked like this at some point. It's hard, even for me it's hard to believe. No, I don't think it's harder. It's just for me, for example, it's much harder to do in Photoshop, but it's not because of the software itself, but it's because you're more familiar with the tool. When you're familiar with 3D, whatever the tool you use, there's not such a thing as hard or easier. It's just a matter of how used you are with the tools. For example, maybe a great painter with brushes and paint and this maybe would think this is really hard to do it in Photoshop, just because he uses brushes and paints. But I guess it's just how much you're familiar with the tools you use, not as much as this is 3D is harder or 2D is easier. It's just how much you're familiar or not with the tools you're using. At least this is what I think, my opinion. Yeah, no, tablet is for it's really hard to. That's why I guess I've never learned to illustrate at Photoshop, because it's really hard to do it without a tablet. Really, really hard. Oh shit. Besides horror characters, what kind of characters would you like to see on the channel? Just give me suggestions. I like to model my own characters, but you can suggest. I have a Instagram channel called Lima Sketchbook, where I post. Maybe I should post it on my Instagram of Tropical Cyborg. Also, my sketches, where people would be able to vote for characters they want to see on the channel. Maybe I'll do it in the future. Taking shape. I invented this sleeper thing. I try to do it here. Pokemons. Okay, maybe any Pokemon in particular. I don't know lots of things about Pokemons, but I can do a research. Pikachu. It's the only Pokemon I know, the most famous of all. I don't know very much about Pokemons. If there's any particular Pokemon, just tell and then try. Okay, I'll try Pikachu. There's a movie, Pikachu movie. Maybe I can pick the Pikachu movie reference and try to reproduce this. This will be a nice challenge for me. Try to reproduce this Pikachu movie character. Actually, it was on TV a few days ago. I was watching this Pikachu movie. There's a lot of Pokemons. I don't know Pokemons, but I've seen some, and there's some very interesting ones that would be funny to try to model. Thank you. Hello, hello, hello. I guess it's working again. Is it working? Can you hear me now? Ah, okay. Okay, thanks. Sorry for that. Glad you can hear me again. Now, glad it's working again. The character is starting to take shape. Sorry for these issues. This is my first time I'm doing this live. I never did it live before. It's nice to have some company when I'm doing this kind of thing. Maybe I like to usually something that I didn't told you is that I used to model my characters because I use Unity engine, game engine, and then when I began learning to model characters, I began to learn to model characters for games. And when you model characters for games, you try to keep the whole model in just one piece of geometry, because game engines, especially on the past, but or if you're doing mobile games, but even mobile games are very powerful now, use it to have some limitations, hardware limitations. Then you need to have as low the lowest amount of polygons possible, and then that's why we always try to keep all the geometry in just one piece and not splitting like I could have split this sleepers as a separate piece, but I am use it to work like this, optimizing everything. And especially if you don't plan to take out the sleepers, even if you're doing an animation, it won't make no sense to make a separate sleepers if it would never get out of your character's feet. Then I'll try to keep everything in just one piece. Okay, almost there. Maybe it's too pointy here. Try to make it rounder. Again, that's what I like so much to model my own characters, because it's a technical thing to model, but also a creative, because I am make decisions when I'm modeling the character. Sometimes trying to improve it. Well, I just figure out that I haven't saved the character yet. Then let me save it before it crashes. Saved. Okay. Look, almost there. Let's give the sleepers some years now. Let me take a look at the concept again. Okay. This will be interesting. I'll have to split. This polygon too. Okay. It was not a very good idea to rotate the feet because now it's not very good to just as I told you, I try to keep as low poly as possible, but sometimes, as you see here, geometry starts becoming odd and some polygons too stretched, and this is not good. I have some polygons here, they are really stretched out, and I'll try to avoid it. I'll try to split them in more polygons. But still trying to keep the polygon count low and geometry consistent. I made a mistake of rotating this leg. I should have modeled it before and then and rotate it just in the end, but now it's too late. Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. There's some room for improvements, but it's not too bad. Okay. Let's get back to the ears. Let's take a look again on the concepts. Okay. taking shape, taking shape. Okay. Are you here, my dogs? I guess my wife arrived. They become crazy when she arrives. They go nuts. Okay. Basic body shape is going. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for coming. Keep looking at the channel. I'm planning to do more of this. Glad you like it. to the nose. Now to the mouth. Character is taking shape. Here it comes. Everybody's leaving. Please don't leave me alone. Don't leave me alone. Well, the card is almost ready. There's not many surprises coming, although I believe there's some challenging parts yet to come, like the hair. I did my concept. Let's take a look at the concept. Teeth, tongue. Who is still there with me? Okay, tongue's looking good. material for the tongue. And also for the nose. The teeth. How will I make this teeth? Thank you for you still watching this live. I hope you enjoy, because I'm planning to do more of them. If you wish, I have a Sketchfab account and I'm posting my models there. If you want to purchase a model and use in your projects, they will be available on Sketchfab for just $5, and then you can use it if you wish in your projects. Commercial projects, personal projects just for studying, whatever. They'll be available on Sketchfab if you wish. I know nobody wants to spend money. I need money to survive and keep doing this because I like, and I guess many people learn a lot on my tutorials, but I won't be able to keep doing this with no money. taking shape. There's something wrong with his mouth. Almost finishing. How long has it been? I don't know. 2 hours? I guess. A lot of time. But it's almost ready. Almost finishing. Don't worry. It won't take longer. Concepts. Mustache, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's almost over. It's almost finishing. Just the mustache, and then I put some colors in and it's over. Thanks for watching. I hope you subscribe to the channel. Keep coming. I'm planning to do it more often. I hope you enjoy it. There it is. Hello, welcome. Hello, welcome. I don't know who just came, but welcome. Thanks for watching. I'm not sure. That's too big. Maybe I would give him some 3D eyes later. Please ask questions if you have some. If you're still watching, if you're interested, and if you have some questions, feel free. That's why I'm doing it live. Live, not live. Almost finishing, and later you can watch it on the channel. Hey, people watching, thanks for watching. I'm not talking, but it doesn't mean that you cannot ask questions if you have some. Don't be shy. I hope you're enjoying. I hope you subscribe the channel, and I hope to see you again now that I start doing lives. This is my first one. Thank you. Glad you enjoy it. If you have some questions, feel free to ask it. This is the original concept for those who had not seen yet. This is my car to design. select the sound of his mouth. I guess I can call it done. Let's just make some lighting just for fun, and some no, here, grow grass. Now let's make some lighting. This color is too saturated. Let's take some saturation here. Let's saturate the colors. reminder to my Instagram. Don't forget to follow my Instagram, Tropical Cyborg on Instagram, and also follow the channel. And don't forget to tell your friends, share my videos, follow, of course, if you like it. Let's try sky. Oh, nicer. Maybe more grass. Increase the density. Nice, that's it. Now Instagram, and then you can watch later on the channel. I hope you enjoyed my first live, and I hope you follow the channel. I promise I will be doing more lives like this. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like the characters. Follow the channel. Keep posting in the comments if you want to see some characters or if you have some questions. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. See you next time.